What is up? It is Shown Off the King, the one and only, and I am here to bring you a fantastic review for Bleach Chapter 514. Guys, before I get started with this review, let me just get a few things out of the way. Kubo, this is his last arc, as we all know, and this arc's supposed to last a couple years. And I just want to say, I don't understand how Bleach is not number one right now. Kubo has consistently brought chapter after chapter after chapter of awesomeness. No stupid plot holes. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Naruto. Still love you, but you got a lot of fucking plot holes. You know, it's just such a fantastic, it's just such a fantastic chapter and a fantastic arc. I cannot say enough about Bleach right now. It is so satisfying to read this thing every week. But enough of that. Let's jump into this review. There is a lot to cover, guys. There's a lot to talk about, so I want to get started. I'm gonna do a really quick overview, give my thoughts on it, and then I'm gonna also dive into a lot of shit. All right, so this chapter starts off with Kirgi and Ichigo still battling. Ichigo just awakened his blue vein, and the ability shot off his black Ryatsu. Sending back Kirige and, just creating this massive explosion. As Kirige jumps back, he realizes that he made a mistake. And that mistake is, number one, having Ichigo fight a pure Quincy. Now, I'm going to stop right there. When I say Kubo is good at all facets of his story, again, I'm going to make a comparison to Naruto. I don't want any Naruto haters trying to spam my message boards with hate. But I'm just going to put this out here because, again, keep in mind, I watch Naruto too and I enjoy Naruto. In Naruto, there's just so many fucking plot holes, shit that doesn't make sense, that, that the writers are just, Kishi is just, overlooking and just forgetting about altogether. But I felt like in Bleach that they just clearly just sapped up every plot hole that you can think of, because we all were sitting here thinking to ourselves after the last chapter about Ichigo awakening his blue vein. We were all, the first thing that came to our heads is, why the fuck did he just now awaken that blue vein? Like, out of all the battles where he's had, where he's been killed by he was killed by Ukiura, he didn't awaken the blue vein then, why the hell is he just now awakening the blue vein? And they explained it very simply. Essentially, when Ichigo was in the cage that was created by the Quincy, he used up all his Ryatsu trying to break the cage. And in doing so, his Ryatsu was mixing in with the Quincy's trap, which triggered his memories from his Quincy abilities. So essentially, because he was fighting a Quincy, it awakened the memories of his Quincy abilities in his body. So that couldn't have never happened when he was fighting, say, Grimmjow, or say fighting Ukiura, because neither one of them were Quincy's. They were a Rancor. And even the Buckbeard's, Kirgi said it himself. He was like, I should have never sent a pure Quincy to fight you. I should have sent some random Rancor. So that right there just closes that plot hole, and it makes perfect sense. I have no complaints whatsoever as to how they closed that up. Matter of fact, it was beautiful. I couldn't have asked for any other better explanation. So thumbs up to you guys for that one. But let's continue. So again, at this point, Ichigo still doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's mentioning blue vein, and I know this isn't the first time Ichigo has heard blue vein. So it's still, to me, I'm just like, come on, Ichigo, get with the picture, buddy. You can't sit there and be clueless your whole life. So the fight continues, and Kirgi's like, I would have liked to have, taken you anyway, but we're going to have to speed up this time clock. So he attacks Ichigo again. And I gotta say, Kirgi is such a badass. Like, this dude is so strong. Like, even now in his present state, Ichigo doesn't even stand a a snowball's chance in hell at beating Kirgi. All he can do is block. And even at that point, he only gets one block in before Kirgi grabs his head and is literally about to run him through again. And at this point, this is where something really weird happens. So he's getting ready to attack Ichigo again, and he tells Ichigo, well, you know what? As let me not jump ahead because there is another very important part that happens right before this. As they're clashing and they're fighting with each other, they're still talking. And Kirgi says exactly what I was talking about in my last chapter review, and I hit the nail right on the head, and I called it, and I'm very proud of myself. You know, just gonna give myself a round of applause for that. Kirgi mentions Ichigo's mother and says, "You're so naive, you don't even understand your mother." And that triggers a memory from Ichigo as a little boy watching his mother be killed by that Arankar, and that was pretty much the extent of it. But we all know what that means. Again, like I said last week when I was reading you guys, I was doing a chapter review. Ichigo's mother is a Quincy, or was a Quincy, and when she gave birth to Ichigo, he had both Quincy abilities and Shinigami abilities, and his Shinigami abilities were awoken first. So she must have, now again, people are going to ask, plot hole, why didn't she have her Quincy abilities? That's very simple. That doesn't even need to have a plot hole. She, at some point, lost her Quincy abilities, just like Ichigo's dad lost his Shinigami powers. So keep in mind that when the mom died, she had no Quincy abilities. And around that time as well, I'm under the, if I'm not mistaken, I know the dad did not have his Shinigami powers. He got that back recently, right around the time of the Arankar invasion. Now, that may not be 100% confirmed. Maybe he secretly had it this entire time. Maybe they'll reveal that, because again, we still don't know enough about Ishin to kind of speculate on that right now. But we do. I can almost promise you that's what happened with the mom. She was a Quincy. She gave birth to Ichigo as a Quincy, and then after Ichigo's birth, at some point before her death, she lost her Quincy abilities. It's just you know, it's just common sense. So Ichigo still again doesn't catch on to that either, and the battle continues with Kirgi. And again, like I said, he grabs him and he's about to run him through, and he tells him that your blue vein won't help you this time. I'll use my power. And at this point, something very strange happens. This black, almost like shadowy Ryatsu just stops Kirgi literally, and his subordinate calls it the shadow realm, or the shadow something. I don't know if it's just a translation from the manga that I read it from, but essentially he says your time is up, we can't stay any longer. And then I guess Kirgi thinks back, and he's thinking about Aizen, and he's like, I can't believe Aizen was able to you know, use his abilities on me in that short amount of time that we were talking. So again, that has so many revelations as well, because again, it must seem like Aizen is still going to be a power player in this arc, and that is fantastic. Again, some people probably thought that, you know, Aizen was just being shown for fan service, but no. I definitely think Aizen is going to play a huge role in this arc, and just seeing him being introduced again and being able to manipulate Kirgi like that just goes to show you that Aizen is still a big player in this battle. Now, I don't think he's going to be on the Shinigami side. It just doesn't make sense. They have way too much bad blood between the two of them. So I don't know what kind of role he's going to play, but it should be very interesting to say the least. So again, this ore, or whatever it's called, prevents Kirgi from taking Ichigo. And of course, Ichigo is just standing there dumbfounded. He doesn't understand what's going on. He's just like, what the hell is going on? I'm not going to let you leave. And again, something weird happens. You know, Ichigo decides to dash at him to try to do another attack, but then he just stops. Now, again, this is another huge revelation. Like this I'm just trying to explain to you guys. Like, this chapter was bananas. So Ichigo getting ready to attack him, and he stops mid attack, and I guess he stops because of something that Kirgi says. Now, I don't know if this is just a translation, or, you know, we'll find out for sure once we get better translations from the other mangas that, you know, people read it from. You know what we're talking about. So Kirgi says to Ichigo, you know, I'll see you soon. Heal your wounds. I'll come back for you. My son born in darkness. Keep in mind, he said, my son born in darkness. Now, this can have so many revelations if we really want to think about that. Now, again, this could be just something from the translation that was wrong, or it could mean that Ichigo's mom was a hoe. I'm putting it out there. I don't know. Because I'm saying, essentially what he would be saying is that he is really Ichigo's dad, and that would make Ishin not Ichigo's dad, but it's just so weird. I don't understand. Now, and again, this is what makes it so funny. At the beginning of this arc, when we first got introduced to Buckbeard, I remember myself included saying that, doesn't Buckbeard look just like Ichigo except the hair? And we all know that Ichigo had this hair from his mother, but you know, he did have the facial features and kind of looked like Buckbeard. I know a lot of other people said that as well. You can go back to the first couple of reviews, but I know it was said. So, I don't know. Because again, it doesn't make sense, because if Buckbeard is a pure Quincy, then that would mean that he has two Quincy parents. How the hell did he become a Shinigami? It doesn't make any sense. So, again, like I said, I'm not ready to completely commit and say that Buckbeard is Ichigo's dad, because just the simplicity of it doesn't make sense, seeing as though Ichigo is half Shinigami and half Quincy. So again, we'll just have to wait a couple more chapters to figure out what's going on with that. And in speaking of that, this brings up another huge revelation for next week and the week after. Now that the fighting is officially over, Kiryu has left the battlefield. I'm assuming within the next 2 to 3 chapters, we're going to see the rest of his Vonin rank, Wretch, whatever you want to call him, his troops are going to probably leave Soul Society, and that can mean so many different things. We're going to find out for sure all the people who died in the battle. We'll probably get 100% confirmation if Byakuya is dead, if, you know, Kenpachi is dead, you know, all of the above. We'll probably see, again, even though I know for a fact that Captain Yamamoto has to be dead because his body was just completely obliterated. So there's no way he can possibly be alive. But we'll be able to figure that all out. Plus, we'll probably have the introduction of the Zero Squad. So again, these next couple of episodes, I just said episodes, these next couple of chapters are going to be very intense and very, very good. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but just the thought of seeing what's going to happen next week, because actually now that the battle's over, I'm happy the battle's over, because now we get more information. So I'm just like, yes, we're going to find out who's dead, we're going to find out about Zero Squad, and maybe we'll actually find out who the hell helped Urahara get out of that battle, because it's driving me crazy. But that's it for me today. You know, I just wanted to get on here and share with you guys the fantastic chapter of Bleach. But again, now it's time to discuss. What do you got? What are your guys' speculations? What do you think is going to happen now that the battle is over? Do you think the Zero Squad is going to show up first? Do you think that we're going to find out about Urahara? Hell, we're going to find out about Byakuya. Is he really dead this time? You know, rate, comment, subscribe to my videos. And definitely thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. It definitely helps me. This is Showing Up the King, the one and only. You guys have a fantastic day.